Hi everyone, welcome to Beta 1 of Ashes in Singularity. This is Brad Wardell, the designer, and I want to show you how to play the Substrate if you're new to it. I'm doing this live. This is a live cast, which I'm recording. And you start out with a constructor, which is the Substrate equivalent of the engineer. And I usually do when I have an uncovered map like this, or a covered map like this, I go in and instruct it to go ahead and immediately start building. I'll build a second constructor to get the assembly going. And the assembly is different than the factory in that it can build both frigates, cruisers, and aircraft, which is pretty nice. So I'll go ahead and start building up some Reapers and Martyrs. And so you can kind of see how that works. And then I'll send this guy to build some extractors, which increases my resources. And one of the things that's interesting here is that unlike the post-humans, the substrate units tend to require energy. If they run out of energy, so as you can see these guys here, he has, you can see he has 150 out of 150 energy for his unit. And as a result, when he fires a shot, it uses some energy. So that's just something to be aware of, is that when he runs out of energy, he can't fire his weapon. And that's why the Substrate get this guy a capacitor, which boosts that. Now early on the creeps aren't very powerful, so it's relatively easy to go ahead and send them out here to deal with the creeps. Metal. So I'm already low on metal here. So let's go ahead and send them over here. I follow these lines here to tell me where another resource is of another power generator. And so in a second here, I will certainly run into the bad guys. There we go. So you can see these guys here, they're using up their energy, but they have a really good weapon. So they're like one shot, one kill as long as they have weapons. The other unit, the Martyr, he's pretty cool in that his unit weapons aren't nearly as good, but they don't require any energy. You just send out little energy blobs, for lack of a better term. Send this over here, and I'm going to keep building up here. Okay, I've now got this region, and as you see here, I'm recovering my energy very fast because I control the region. So I know that the next region is over here because I can see the resource lane here. Send him over here. I used the right mouse button to drag the map. You can use also just H scroll. And I use the Q key to put in metal extractors over here. So again, these guys are really good at dealing with these. And once I take this region, I'll have radioactives enough to go ahead and start building capacitors. And I'll show you how that works too. So in a second here, I should be able to have that region. So I'm capturing the region. And now that I have radioactives coming in, I'm going to go ahead and instruct a capacitor to be used so they can recharge up my units. I form armies here, and that by doing that, they will all work together as if they're a single unit. So if I select one unit, I'm selecting the entire thing. You'll see an army icon here, and you can see the total shields, hit points, and energy of the entire group. And when I send them out here, it'll kind of stick together, as you can see. And now that he's done, send my constructor over here. Alright. And then I'm going to right click over here to add them to that unit. Another thing now that well, actually I'm going to undo this. One of the things I tend to do early on is I will build a searcher as soon as I can, and by doing that I get a flying scout out of it. All right, that sound effect means it is done. I'm going to go ahead here and tell him to start building extractors over here. All right, I got my searcher. I'm going to hotkey him over to my 9 key and just tell him to start exploring so I don't have to run around blind anymore. And now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and build what I call my product build mix. So in this case, I tend to build 2 Reapers for every capacitor and a couple martyrs, and then I tell it to go ahead and repeat. And I'm going to go ahead and build another engineer over here, or in this case constructor. But all right, so send him over here, back. What's my enemy doing here? All right, I'm going to go ahead and build a radar tower. And now that I have radioactives coming in, I'm going to start building quantum archives. Quantum archives are what gives you access to special abilities as well as accumulates quantum or quanta that you use to make use of special abilities. And since I have more metal coming in than I can consume, I'm going to go ahead and keep building more engineers. Now, if I hit the space bar, I can see up the main map. And as you see here, I'm running into problems over here, so I'm going to go ahead and click, see how they're doing. But at this point, I have a pretty good army. So if you see the capacitor, he's going around charging these various units back up. And that's why you see my energy just skyrocketing as it jumps up there. So I have a listening post and I can actually see the bad guys here. And I can also see that the AI has gotten some tanks out. So I better send over here. And I'm going to go ahead and build some defenses before he does me some pain. Send him over to help. And at this stage, I'm still building more metal than I need, so I'm going to... This ought to be interesting. He has a lot of tanks. So let's see how the Substrate do against the post-humans. The Substrate units tend to move a little bit more of a swarm, as you can see here, because they are constantly seeing how they can reposition themselves. Alright, I got my quantum archive down, and now I can start building orbitals. So the first orbital I tend to build is the energy modulator. It allows you to call overcharge and boost, which are economic abilities. And I'm going to go ahead and build another assembly. Select this, and I'm going to create another army. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue this up. I can right click here, hold down the shift key, and right click over here. So I can literally queue up where I want them to go by holding the shift key as I right click.
We have captured a generator.
Alright, double tapping on the one key brings me back over here, and I can actually come in and try to cut off the AI. In fact, I'm going to do a little attack here and just see how much damage I could do. Probably not a lot, but we'll see. I have it on easy, so it shouldn't be too hard. Or they see me coming, so the engineers just fled. So while it's doing its thing, good, I got the boost done. So let's go ahead and start building an advanced factory over here. And I'm going to build up a better units here. So to recap, the Reaper is a medium ranged unit. It does a really strong beam that kills stuff fast, but it uses energy. The Martyr is kind of a spammy unit. It's cheap, but it doesn't use any energy. The Capacitor recharges things that use energy. And the Sky Cleanser is an anti-air unit. Over here on the Cruisers, the Destructor is really good at destroying buildings, but it can't do anything else. The Avenger can clean out cheap units like crazy, just fires a ton of little shots that kill off little units very quickly. The Drone Hive is basically a small aircraft carrier. It sends drones out to do its bidding. It's good at controlling a small area. And the Mauler is a small cruiser that does very strong damage against nearby units. I'm going to go ahead and send this over here. And well, they've pretty much wiped out my little force I had here, so I'm going to go ahead and build some more defenses. So the Annihilator Cannon is just your kind of a cheap but effective anti-unit defense. The one thing to be aware of is that it cannot attack air, and it can only shoot straight, which means it can't do anything like ballistics. So it can't shoot over a hill or what have you, so you need to be careful where you place it. I'm going to build another, this one here, another orbital. The Subspace Streamer is kind of an end game thing. It lets you do detonate and regenerate. The Gateway lets you unlock the Avatar, which is a really powerful unit that can also build. The Orbital Drone Relay lets you call down Drone Storm, which is basically puts a bunch of drones in a particular area, which is really nasty. And the Quantum Jammer keeps the enemy from doing bad things too. I'm going to go ahead and do the Gateway. And I'm going to put another engineer over here. Oh, they're attacking me. Alright, I have a nice little army here. I'm going to send him out. And I'm going to go ahead and start building I'm low on logistics. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to increase it. So this costs quanta, which I'm generating here. And speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and tell these guys to just build more quantum generators, or quantum archives, I should say. So I got my gateway now. And I'm going to just start cranking out. So for every 2 Avengers, I'm going to go ahead and create a capacitor. So I'm just going to spam these out because I bet the AI at this level is mostly going to have just crummy T1 units. Now you may notice that I'm about to run out of metal. So how do I solve that? Well, in this case, I'm going to use my special ability. And I guess I'm not going to because I don't have enough quanta yet. Oh wait, there it is. Overcharge. So I can really increase the output. So it doesn't do everything, but it helps. And I'm going to send this guy over here to begin placing an amplifier on this, which will increase the power output. This should be interesting. And what else? I'm going to go ahead and place the Avatar here to help out. Because he can also build. And fire. So he's actually a pretty good little unit. Here, kill this guy. There you go. I'm going to try going in for the kill.
We have captured a generator.
As you can see, once again, I'm low on metal, so I'm going to go in here and do another overcharge on this. Which again, it's only 10 seconds, but every time I use this ability, it gets more expensive. So you don't want to do it lightly, because once you do it too many times, it becomes prohibitively expensive to keep doing. Alright, I'm going to charge into his base. As you can see here, this is the Avenger. He can basically just keep firing as long as he has energy, which unfortunately I forgot to give him a bunch of capacitors. So let's see how far I can get in. This is my destructor, so he can actually just send over these basically he sends these particles that essentially melt enemy structures. It doesn't take many of them to do a lot of damage. So like, this guy is great. Unfortunately, he can't do much against anything else. In fact, he can't do anything against anything other than buildings. But I'm wreaking havoc on his base. If I can just kill this thing. These things are really tough. And that's the end of that. Alright. Send him over here. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. AI is a little more clever than I expected. So we're going to create a new... I'm going to create a third army, because I need to get down here and take this, and then my second army, I'm going to go over here and take this and come back. So again, this is, you notice I'm not clicking a lot. It's about your strategy and where you place things. I'm going to create a boost here. And I want to kind of keep an eye on what these guys are doing. So I'm going to put a sensor drone right. Oh, I'm losing my vision. So it's just this tiny little drone will let me see what's going on here long after. It's probably about time for me to be doing air too. So I'm just balancing my forces while I get more resources. I still have this guy here, just kind of watching the area. And I have my avatar, who is one tough customer, but doesn't appear to have energy. So we'll see how we're doing there. So I'm going to try to make one final attack on him. What I'm going to do is build another assembly, and I'm going to use air to kind of pound on him, and I'm going to also over here start adding some destructors, and with that mixture should help me be able to go in there and clean them up and send him back here to take this region so I can starve him. Thing to be aware of is that if a region is not connected to their nexus, they don't get the resources. So me taking this has prevented them from getting the resources from these two regions. So that's why You can actually beat the AI on pretty high levels on this particular map if you're good at taking this out. Like this is the smallest map we support, so this is also a good learning map because it's relatively simple. All right, time to build some air. And I'm gonna boost. Oops, I guess I didn't build extractors over here. I am then going to place an avatar right here, who's both a good defender and he can build. And after I do that, then I will use my ability to overcharge it. Alright, so I'm guarding him there. And I think I'm just about ready to take him out, though I'm also going to win through Turnium as well. Alright, this should be enough to take him out. New first army. I'm also going to recall my third army over here, and we're going to do one massive attack on him. So I'm bringing this army over to here. I have my second army here, and it's the third army. So obviously, Betas is not super pretty yet. And I need more logistics. I should also be upgrading my tech, which I can from here, but I don't have enough yet. So I'm using my special abilities, but you also can improve your techs. Now the one downside for building an army that's around a dreadnought is that they move obviously a lot slower. So you're sacrificing mobility for power. But if you look at the combined power here, this army, I mean that is one nasty unit. And I'm slowly building up my radioactives here. Oh good. Can I do boost yet? 87. No, I cannot. So I'm going to build a Alright, here they come. Alright, I've now got some bombers. I'm going to go ahead and try to take out... He's got some anti-air. I want to take out this right here. Is this nullifier? If I take that out, I can do some terrible things to him. I think I'm going to try to nuke him. And I can do that with this one right here. And I need more quantum archives. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna actually select all these, make them into one army, and then go for it. Because the army will know how to work really well. Like I said, the computer can do APM beyond any human. Alright, can I get in there? That's the building I want to destroy.
We are nearing critical mass.
that is done. Alright. Going in for the kill. A move. So you can see these guys here are my Avengers, and as long as they have energy, they will just fire forever. But they have to have energy. So once they run out of energy, they are sitting ducks. Oh. There we go. I think I'm gonna... Oh. Against easy AI, it looks pretty easy, but I wouldn't be able to do this on a harder AI. See it going down. There we go. Goodbye. Alright. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. I hope you liked what you saw. And again, this is just a beta. We still have a long way to go. If you have any questions, find us online.